Welcome, Mandy. Mandy Lipka. Is that how you say it?
It is, thank you.
Yes. And I'm Lawrence Yang. I'm a family doc in Surrey. I'm also part of something called Physician Quality Improvement, where we're really trying to get family doctors and specialist physicians to learn more about quality improvement and apply it to their current workplace. And so much of that, we owe a lot of our curriculum to the Institute of Healthcare Improvement, where Mandy, you work running some of the social media accounts. What's your actual title there?
I do. I'm a senior marketing manager for IHI, which means, I'm responsible for helping to promote our programs as well as kind of leading the social media team. Um, so making sure that folks are aware of our tools and our publications as well as our conferences and courses.
Thank you. And I want to talk a little bit about how you and I got to know a little bit about each other. And
Sure,
a lot of it has to do with myself going to the events that you promote using
right?
social media and then just going crazy and posting a ton of selfies and a lot of weird pictures on it. Tell me about your experience getting to know me.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy to see your energy translate on social media, and that's something that we, really try to capture with that work. So, and it's tough, right? Because we're talking about important stuff, but we also want to kind of like share the human side of the work, right? And so you just naturally did that and became like almost like an IHI event cheerleader, and it was captivating, right? Your energy was contagious. So I just love that. I loved the energy you brought to the work, and yeah, I just feel like it's more important than ever. So
It
um,
is, yeah. Thank you for that. I think the IHI speaks so much it resonates so much with my values, and the values of health equity has really been a huge um, point of it's been a big part of the expression of elevation of importance really within the IHI work. Many of the
absolutely.
keynote speakers around it, Michael Marmot's work, Don Berwick speaking about how when you cross certain zip code boundaries that
Hmm.
help the social determinants of health change so much. So these messages, they are very real to someone like me, a clinician who works in primary care and seeing the disparities that exist between neighborhood and neighborhood, and how upsetting it is that those inequities exist within a modern society where we have so much abundance. We really do have so much abundance, I think, within North America. And it's like, it's crazy making for a lot of us when we see the health disparities and we see the inequity. And when IHI helps us to point that out, it just really validates our perspectives and some of our distress, the distress that we're feeling as health professionals. And uh, the IHI does such a great job at really validating our feelings of our frustration within the health system and then giving us hope on how to move forward with it. So kudos to you and your team for really doing a lot of the healing work for health professionals. We don't really get that opportunity outside of some of the gatherings that the IHI puts on. Is that an intentional thing of your guys' brand of kind of your mission and values?
Certainly. I think it's so refreshing to hear that because it's hard to know that, right? We're all kind of like going, but I think it's really, really nice to hear that because, everyone at IHI really cares so deeply about the mission and more importantly about the humans behind it. The humans who are improving health and healthcare worldwide. And we know how hard it is right now. So really we want to be a resource. We want to be a place where, yeah, you can lean and you can let it out and you can have fun and you can reconnect, and you can remember why you came into this work in the first place. And I think that's really all we're trying to do is kind of like hold hands to help get you through it and help you continue on your improvement journeys, whatever that might look like right now.
Yeah, I think that IHI does a fantastic job at that. It's inspiring, and it's really inspired a lot of work internationally. So
Yeah.
the IHI Forum is a massive event, usually 5,000, 6,000 people in
Hmm.
Orlando.
Right.
It's been in Orlando at least since I've been going. I think I've been to
Mhm.
five or six of them. And tell me a little bit about that. Like on your side, your team on social media, what are some of the things that you guys aim to do when it's time for the yearly IHI Forum?
Yeah, I mean, we try to be sensitive to the fact that people are joining from all over the world. And so for the first time this year, we're going to be doing in person and online. And the online portion won't be simultaneous as it was in the last couple years. So I think that will be a nice improvement to help kind of reach that truly global audience, so that folks, so it's not a both and, right? But it's happening at a time that could be more beneficial for the folks all over the world, and still, have that portion be in person as well. So we'll be sharing content throughout both events, and something seemingly simple, but that we try to keep an eye on is just when we're posting, and making sure that we're touching multiple time zones with really important content. Certainly, Don Berwick's sound bites and important keynotes. We want to make sure that folks see that content. So, and just being, essentially almost always on. We kind of break up the team in a way that someone's always keeping an eye and sharing the wonderful content that is shared throughout the week. So it'll be really interesting. I'm really excited to see what happens this year, having that online portion be separate, and just being able to focus on the live event and afterward. It'll be really neat to see how it plays out.
And today is June 20th, and I know the deadline for presenting is for the submissions of presentations is June 24th. So try
Correct.
to release this quick so that we can try to hopefully people can submit some more abstracts for presentation. No guarantees that you'll get in. There's thousands of people around the world trying to present there, but yeah, it's so I was saying that it's such an inspiring event for health professionals who attend the IHI Forum. And in British Columbia, we try to bring a few patient partners along as well. It's,
Great.
it's expensive. It's an expensive trip, and getting 5,000 people together within the pandemic is sometimes a nerve-wracking thing, but we'll do
Sure.
our best to be safe about it. These events have been like um, have been an opportunity for many of us to go and recharge our batteries. Uh,
Exactly.
Getting out of our daily routine of relatively arduous work in the clinical space, putting out fires, making sure that that our patients get the help they deserve, and stretching ourselves sometimes across the brokenness within our system design to make
Mm.
that happen. And when we
Hmm.
get to go to the IHI Forum, we get to, as you said, kind of hold hands and find community with people who really, really care about excellent patient experiences and health outcomes, as well as resource stewardship, all at the same time. These events have been so big that they've inspired actually British Columbia to have something called the Quality Forum, which is
Wonderful.
BC's own thing. And uh, over here, our health ministry limits it to about 900 people at once, just because
Hmm.
we find that that's best space that or best number container that really works for our province.
Sure.
It always gets sold out. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, and I feel like IHI Forum pretty much gets to that point as well. At IHI Forum, we got the blue shirts
Hmm.
of people helping out. In British Columbia, we have the red vests.
Oh,
People wearing that.
fun.
Yeah, so we've copied a lot from the IHI, and and we try to do our best to get some inspiring plenaries, inspiring speakers as well, and then
Great.
having everybody in the province kind of share some of their learnings from their individual QI projects.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, we're really trying to see how we can improve the way that we leverage social media
Hmm.
to share good ideas. What are some things that your team might do around that, sharing good ideas using social media.
Hmm.
What are some of the tactics or strategies that your team uses?
Sure. I mean, the first thing I would recommend is listening. Just kind of like tuning in to see what the conversations are out there. And there's always great questions being asked too, about measures, about results, about different QI projects, tools that have been helpful along the way. So we often get pointed to during those conversations, and we kind of check in, let us know, or, new improvement advisors along the way. Let us know how your projects are going. Let us know how your joy and work within your health system is going, and how we can help along the way, right? At IHI, we believe never worry alone. So
Mm,
we don't want to just like let people go. We want to constantly be a resource for that. And so, we're listening a lot. We're keeping an eye on the conversations, and then, in response, we're building new tools or new publications um, that hopefully can provide either, a fresh perspective, a new way to approach QI work, or getting hands-on learning with checklists and toolkits and all of that. When
mm.
it Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so you said social media is not just for putting stuff out there. It's
Hmm.
really for gathering intel. It's for listening to
Absolutely.
the crowd.
Hmm.
What does listening look like on social media? What is that? How does your team listen on social media?
Sure. So an easy one is just kind of I found us a tool where we can kind of um, see all of our inboxes at once. So all of our social channels, it's like a live feed of everything that's coming through. And we check that multiple times a day to see, checking the pulse of the community and what the needs are. And then so that's kind of like a more passive way of listening, seeing what's coming in, but we're also keeping an eye on, different keywords like joy and work, for example, um, and health equity, and making sure that we are, watching like who's emerging as leaders in the space. What are they talking about? What do nurses care about? What do different QI projects look like? Like who's becoming improvement advisors? What kind of work are they doing? So we're kind of like breaking that down into different topic areas, and looking at, and yeah, certainly joy and work and health equity are huge for us right now, and we just want to know more, like how can we continue the work. um, and actually Lou Waters established a new QI hashtag called QI Twitter. I don't know if you're familiar with that yet. It kind of started in the UK, is slowly gaining traction, and it's really popping up. So I would definitely recommend, taking a look at that and seeing the conversations that pop up there, because it's yeah, they're getting right into the weeds with QI work and the conversations there. So we've certainly been keeping our eye on that and sharing our content with that hashtag. So, hashtags do make it easy to kind of to see what conversations are happening out there, and that's definitely one to watch.
Wow. So not only can you're really respecting your team at IHI is really respecting the social media space as almost like data. It's like
Mhm.
it's these are this is data collection, and you can collect data about what is important to people, because our assumption is that if you're going to tweet about something or you're going to Instagram post about something, it matters to you.
Absolutely.
And and then you can use that to understand the needs of a population and an international population. And you could
Right.
divide it by what do people in NHS Scotland care about? What do people
Exactly.
in British Columbia care about? Oh, wow.
Hmm.
And then the use of hashtags. This one's QI Twitter.
Hmm.
Tell me a little bit about Lou Waters. I've forgotten who Lou Waters is.
Yeah. So let me pull that up now.
Sure. Maybe I can allow you to share screen if yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, of course, my computer is slow, but it's fairly recent. I want to say within the last 6 months, because I don't believe that the tag was live um, at the forum, but we register the hashtags for our events. That's another nice way. Simpler.com is a healthcare hashtag database. That's really helpful for kind of looking for new, like, what is it, like conferences or just general hashtags, in terms of sharing the work. That's not working.
I'll share while you work on getting yours up. Is this simpler.com?
No, so it's kind of funny because every like social app always does like misspelling. So it's SYM
Yeah.
and then it's PLUR. So none of it is what it's supposed to look like. For some
Oh,
reason
wow.
I don't know if Twitter's down or it's just my laptop, but
Put it down. That would be crazy.
yeah, like it's probably just me. But yes, um, that's where we go to kind of register all of our event hashtags or anything.
So when you register a hashtag, what does that do?
It really just means like if folks search it on Google, that there's a place for them to go to learn more about. And then it actually they do some interesting data. So after the forum, for example, we'll come and check in on, how many people were tweeting, the average tweets per minute, and things like that. They've put a lot of this behind a paywall, but you can still capture that data if you get it within 30 days of the event. So yeah, you can see the community by the numbers. It's kind of like a snapshot of each of these tags. And so that's also been really helpful for seeing like, okay, what's going on in this community. And yeah, there's Quality 2022.
Is that IHI Forum?
That's the one we share with BMJ.
That's the one. It's held in Europe.
Yep, this one is in Sweden and then will be in Sydney in July.
Oh, Gothenburg, Sydney, Copenhagen. Wow. So you come here and you register a particular hashtag, and then you'll be able to kind of track the metrics on it.
Mm-hmm. It's super helpful, and it will pull all of the content, all of the tweets as well. So you have kind of like a little database of Twitter as well.
What will this year's? Do you know what this year's December hashtag be?
It's IHI Forum. We may not have updated it quite yet, but
Hmm.
it should still be in there. So it's IHI Forum, IHI, and the F is capitalized. And so we keep it the same so that people can remember it. That's another thing too. We used to have the year at the end of it, but we
Hmm.
figure make it easy. And just and we when we're talking about it, we'll include the year, but in terms of the hashtag, it's just IHI Forum.
And having one letter capitalized, does that matter? Like, how does that change things?
No, that doesn't. We do the IHI as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So there's a descriptor here.
Yeah. And so we keep that kind of basic. But yeah, looks like we got to update dates.
Mm, cool. Yeah, the having the in person and then followed by the virtual after, it's almost like allows you to pay more attention to the customers, right? To
Mhm.
the participants. I think that's quite genius. Ah, your background is now normal.
Oh, see, that's funny because now I look like I'm in the chair on my end.
Gonna try to make myself bigger so we're both the same size.
There you go.
So, so we talked a little bit about hashtags, registering hashtags. Um, Lou Waters. Lou Waters is in the UK. Is that a
Mhm.
person in the UK? Okay. I actually got banned from Twitter in 2019, and I don't know why. I got suspended, and then I tried to make another account, and it says it looks like you're trying to circumvent your suspension, and now I'm permanently suspended. So uh, I've been thinking about maybe using my wife's Twitter and getting on there, back
There
on
you
there,
go.
but I've been
It'll make
missing
it
it.
easy.
No, they don't. I was hoping that maybe when Elon Musk took over the company, he'd set me free, but I still have to finagle my way to get into his get an audience with him. But,
Soon, soon. Hopefully Twitter doesn't hear this, but usually if you use a different email address, that can help. That's
okay.
helped. That's helped in the past when folks' accounts have been hacked, and the same things have happened.
Okay.
Uh,
It's sad to lose all the history of all the different
yes.
Twitter tweets and the relationships that built on there. So, but I'll try. Um, so is there a particular quality improvement project or a movement with a hashtag that you recall that was really, I don't know, that was just memorable for you? We spoke a little bit about IHI Forum hashtag, which is a fantastic event. Any other projects that you remember that with hashtags that was
My,
impactful?
my favorite, and I'm partial, of course, but my favorite is seeing the different QI games. So seeing folks doing the potato head exercise and the coin spinning game, and there's always like competition in terms of like what's the best time? Did we beat the record? So that's always been really fun to see. Um,
Mm,
um, what's happening there. We usually have to consult Dave Williams on what the current record is. He always knows. So if folks don't know, you can see the QI games, the red bead experiment, the coin spinning game, and Mr. Potato Head on the IHI Open School. So we keep those running. So it's always been fun to see that again. It's that like that refreshing energy, right? It almost brings us back to being a kid in those exercises, and you can see that on social media when folks get excited about it and they get reminded of like bringing that sort of playful energy back into the work, and reminding them again like being human, why they're doing the work, and get, like you said, getting out of that day to day, because we know how hard it is. We know how hard it is for you to kind of cover your work, leave your work, come to events like that, which is, certainly why we try to do our best to offer scholarships. But, so we want there to be an element of fun too. So that's one that always gets me, is just seeing the excitement for something that's seemingly simple that really gets folks thinking about the work in a very light and playful way. That's always been some of my favorite. The other is the simple way of improving joy in work, and we know that that can be a kind of tough word to face in the day-to-day work, but at the same time we're still seeing a lot of folks finding ways to inspire one another in the work. There's big ways, of course, at the system level, but there's also, small, little acts of kindness that seem to be doing well. And that's really nice to see as well on social media. We see a lot of that energy coming from the UK and the NHS. Yeah, they're doing a lot of great work trying to improve joy there. There's a hashtag that they've been using. It's like, oh, something about not stressing. I can't remember it right now, but it's good. It's like don't fret, kind of carry on, and find the joy in the little things. We know that there's certainly ways to address the bigger things too, but again, finding joy in each day that you're at work. So
mhm.
that's been really inspiring.
I think that makes a lot of sense that if you're doing something innovative in your workplace and it's making a big difference, we should celebrate it so other people can see it. And sometimes that might be on social media with a hashtag because
Hmm.
social media bridges the silos of different work teams. It does.
Sure.
And people go to social media for fun, for entertainment often, right? They're not really looking for work inspiration. I mean, you guys seem to be intentionally doing that, but a lot of health professionals, they might be going there for distraction and for fun. And but if you can sneak some great ideas into the fun, why not, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like when you asked me about this, I was thinking, it'd be I don't think anyone has really figured out how to translate storyboards, for example, online or in social media. And that's something I would really love to be seeing, is a way where there's, you know, a way to showcase the great work that folks are doing in a
Mm,
more digestible way. Like maybe it's a small infographic, maybe it's taking the pieces of the storyboard and kind of um, you know, doing an Instagram series on it or something. LinkedIn, of course, is a great place to share that kind of content.
mm,
We're trying to figure out what's the best use of our QI innovators group on LinkedIn. And I was just thinking, like, what if we had that? What if we had storyboards being shared there for this year's forum? I would love that. That would be so exciting. Um, yeah, so that's just something that came to mind as I was thinking about this conversation, that we haven't quite figured out quite yet, or at least I haven't seen it, of how to share that great work
mhm.
online. And of course, in person, it's wonderful to kind of see those storyboards, but and posters. But what's a way that we can be doing that online?
Tell me a little bit more about this LinkedIn group. Are you able to show us, or is that uh,
I probably could if my computer is cooperating, but I could say,
or
um,
on my side? Should I go on to LinkedIn?
if you'd like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know what's going on with my internet today. We are at the mercy of technology, I guess.
So,
Yeah, I don't know. It came up before we started, but it's
so
IHI Quality Innovators.
okay. So I'll just look here.
Mhm.
IHI Quality Innovators. That's probably what I meant. And
It
then what
did.
is?
If you searched IHI Quality, it came up. Um, yep, there it is. So if you click below on the group.
Oh, it's a group. So this is a
Mhm.
group. So there are groups that you can join within LinkedIn, huh?
Mhm. Yeah, and that's one that I'm really like, we're really trying to think through, and hopefully we'll have, like I said, more content for forum. But it's almost up to 70,000 people right now, and so we monitor it um, lightly. We kind of try to keep it as open as possible, right? But um, it's certainly a place to kind of ask questions about projects.
Mm.
And like I said, yeah, if we can think through a way to translate storyboards, I'd love to be doing it here for this year's forum.
Hmm. And you'd mentioned potentially using Instagram. Let's see how that might work. I'll see if I can pull up an Instagram
Sure.
thing and then. So here's an IHI Open School
One of our
page.
chapters. Yeah.
One of our chapters, and this is in British Columbia, my province.
Hmm.
There's my friend Fatima, and
Nice.
but let's see how. Oh, it would be one of those posts with multiple pictures, right?
Yeah, or even that infographic there is a nice one too. The third one, finding ways to kind of, you know, share interesting content in a kind of like a way that kind of captures attention.
Mhm. Yeah, like for example, you could put maybe an aim statement here, and maybe
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Something more than run charts, right? Because the run charts alone that get shared, it's kind of like out of context, right? And there needs to be a little bit more. Of course, we love seeing run charts, but it's kind of like it becomes a little bit more exclusive of a conversation where it could be a lot broader if someone came across it, didn't quite know, what was happening, um, could then be, oh, I love that PDSA cycles. That's great.
Yes, here's one. This is from the Point Grey campus, which is a little bit closer than the other university UBC thing. So their first image is what are PDSA? and then they have reasons to test
That.
changes.
Love that. All right, I'll be sharing that this week. I'll have to dig that up. That's great. Yeah, really great. Love it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that that's the sweet spot of social media is kind of taking more maybe more complex information and kind of distilling it into the main takeaways or the main the aim statements and the results and sharing that in a way that can be like easily digestible.
Mm,
um which, and if that's a run chart, that's wonderful too. I think just having some context with it um is important too.
mhm. I know that, well, I don't know if it's still going, but Madge Kaplan used to do the WIHI, the podcast series. Is she still doing that?
She is not. She has since retired, unfortunately.
Oh.
We are trying to rethink, a possible podcast, what that might look like. So more to come on that.
Mm,
But yeah, unfortunately, we kind of knew that there was no way to replace Madge on WIHI, we're using the opportunity to think through, you know, a different way to do it, I guess, and kind of, improve on how we're disseminating this information as well. So
mm.
um, I'll certainly let you know when we figured that out.
Um, I want to thank you for your time. Is there any other thoughts came to mind when I brought up this question to you, how to use uh, social media for promoting good ideas? Any other thoughts?
I think I think that something that is close to my heart in the work is promoting IHI's values of love, equity, trust, and courage.
Mm,
And I think if you can bring that to this work, um, if you can somehow demonstrate those values, it will catch on, you know? Yeah. And so that's just something, and that's just something that I try to carry with the work that we do and what we share and how we share it. Um, because at the end of the day, it's the people, the patients, the healthcare workers that matter. And in sharing what matters is really at the end of the day what we're doing here. So yeah, I think it's just trying to evoke some of those values, and again having fun with it. That's number one. I think having fun with it and learning from each other, and being not being afraid to fail, right? That's important too.
well, thanks, Mandy. It's been an honor to connect with you over these years via social media, and I hope to continue doing that. And I'm excited about this December. It's only in 6 months away, and I'll try to post up a storm again.
Excellent.
I'll
Yes.
try to rush the stage and join some of the dancing again, like we did.
Yes. Oh, so good. That was a great keynote. Yeah, it was, honestly, Lawrence, it was my pleasure. So wonderful getting to talk with you today. And yes, any way I can help, I'm happy to be a resource from now through December. But looking forward to having you at the IHI Forum, and yeah, can't wait to see what else you're working on.
Thanks so much for your time. I'll let you go now.
All right, take care, Lawrence.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.